Hey everybody, this is Nephis here. It's time to Nephis and chill, and hopefully this video finds you healthy and well. Hopefully you guys have enough toilet paper to outlast the coronavirus pandemic, and please do stay safe, and yes, that's pretty much it. Today in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the Harrowstorm DLC patch. Not about the patch notes, while we do sometimes do that on this channel, going over patch notes on PTS and live. We're not going to do that today. This is more about touching base with you guys, whether you follow me on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, about what I think about the Harrowstorm DLC patch and so on. And I just want to start off by saying, as a class rep, and I'm sure the other class reps get this a lot, I get a lot of feedback thrown my way, and I get a lot of bug reports thrown my way, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different things, and that tends to sometimes influence my perspective on the game. And I try to not let it, because there's a lot more negativity than there's positivity, some positive feedback. I try to not be biased towards negativity, and I try to be more objective about it when I look at the state of the game, and also judge it off of based on my own gameplay experience as well. And the Harrowstorm DLC patch so far was emphasized performance, and that's why if you go to any Twitch streamer or YouTube channel that's still uploading ESO videos, you'll see like moments where something's not going right in terms of the game, like the game's bugging out or the game's glitching out horribly, and then people will basically be like, performance patch, and that's a meme going on right now. And the primary point, or not primary point, the primary thing about the Harrowstorm DLC patch was the removal of about roughly 30 gigabytes of unnecessary data. So this meant, as it says here, major improvements to load times, streaming of assets, reliability of asset loads, textures and stuff like that, reduction of space on your hard drive. Pretty cool. I mean, 30 gigabytes is no joke. That's like literally the size of like a lot of games. And it was getting to the point this game, the ESO was going to be like 90 some gigabytes, which is not good. And cool, right? And in terms of performance this patch, I'll get to that in a bit. But in terms of the gameplay balance and content, it's not too bad. Content-wise, the two new dungeons for the Harrowstorm DLC, Dungeon Pack, Ice Reach, and Unhallowed Grave, they're both relatively fine dungeons for both, I guess, casual players and endgame players. Although for endgame players, I don't think it's going to hold your interest too much. And a lot of people have been asking me, hey, should I come back to the game? How's the game right now? Has the game improved any? And now I'm going to go into that. Content-wise, I would give this patch a rating of 5, 6, or 7 out of 10 at most. In terms of balance, now prior to update 25, in terms of Dragonhold and pre-Dragonhold, where we had massive shifts and back and forths with changes from the devs, and also a lot of people were feeling the fatigue of the meta changing and stuff like that for both PvP and PvE. It's not like that for Harrowstorm. It's pretty much remained the exact same thing from Dragonhold. So if you think you're missing out on if you think, oh, I quit in Dragonhold, I'm coming back to Harrowstorm, what do I need to catch up on? Nothing much really in terms of PvE. Magic DPS and Stamina DPS are much closer to each other than more than ever before. I would dare say Magic DPS rate compositions for PvE is better than Stamina, I would say. And for PvP, it's, well, the primary issue right now for PvP is, and for PvE, I don't think it's going to be about well, there's issues with balance as well, but it's going to primarily be about performance. So we're going to take a look at the performance improvements timeline that was drafted up last year, July 2019. Have we met the expectations? Have we met the goal as a player base? And obviously this performance improvements timeline, it was emphasized earlier on by the devs that, hey, this isn't the end. This is obviously going to be a continuous project long after quarter 2. But we're going to strictly focus on up to this point here, quarter 4, quarter 1. I would say in terms of my overall rating for the Harrowstorm DLC patch in terms of performance, it's gonna be like 2 or 3 out of 10 at most, and that's not really taking into account what other people are saying about. That's just my take on it. After I've been observing the game, I've been playing through the game, and I've also been, taking note on who is experiencing what at different times. And I would say for everybody, PvPers, PvEers, and even if you're just a quester or someone who role plays for long hours, Harrowstorm DLC patch in terms of performance is not that great in my opinion. It's very suspect, and going into this, I was very hopeful that it was gonna solve some issues, but let's look at the faster loading arc fixtures and characters. So for me, at the beginning of the patch, it was faster loading screens. For me personally, but then after like the second or third incremental, it just started slowing down to the point that now my loading screens are as slow as last patch or slower. So I don't know what's happening there. And for a lot of people actually PM me. Some people actually even PM me videos and screenshots of their games looking like it was drawn by Picasso, like the cubist art. Basically, like all the textures and graphics look really off, really like it's not what it's supposed to look like. So I think some of you know what I'm talking about here. So for a lot of people, it was not an improvement. Combat ability improvements, and there was in both PvP and PvE, there's a lot of evidence of skills not going up, skills not working, block not working, and we had the fiasco with block. If you blocked too much, you would crash, and I think that's been fixed in the last incremental, but there's still a whole load of issues. And I would have to say, positive-wise, that the response to hotfixing certain issues like things not appearing in terms of mechanics for trials, like the cloud rest pads, hotfixes like that were pretty immediate, on demand. So that's a positive aspect of it. But otherwise, like the majority of the patch, I don't know. It's like it's not very good in terms of performance, in my opinion, and it's compounded, I think, a lot of frustrations with the game. And in terms of FPS, I will say this though. I will say that FPS has gone slightly up, and it seems a lot of people agree that FPS has also slightly gone up in Cyrodiil for PvP, which has been another issue, of course. But yeah, otherwise, server performance-wise, there's a lot of desyncs going on. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And yeah, that's just my rating on it. Looking forward to Q2 2020, which is the next patch, Greymore expansion. We're gonna have the cold storage. Basically, they're gonna sort of put away all the old inactive accounts, which could potentially, I suppose, improve server load. I'm not sure. Frame rate improvements too. I guess FPS will slightly go up again. Additional bug fixes and updates. That's pretty vague. But I think a lot of people will agree with me down in the comments below that this patch was kind of disappointing in terms of performance. And I have no idea what the effect of the whole coronavirus pandemic has on like the devs' working schedule or whatever. But this is pretty much the same story we've been kind of experiencing for the past 3 to 4 years. It's like every patch, things break over and over, different things pop back up, old bugs pop back up, I'm sorry. And just to give you guys some example here, I mean, like today I was watching this stream, and this is also a huge pain point for not just players, but also content creators. Like, you don't want to just go tune into the stream where content creators literally like, okay, I'm not going to stream this game is trash. Like here, I was actually watching this stream in particular earlier today, and it's like, what's going on? I mean, should this be happening in a patch advertised as performance?
That's not fair.
And this is not just PvE; it's also PvP. And actually, Ness ESO, who is also a YouTuber for ESO, he made a really great video. I actually agreed with a month ago. He was basically articulating how a lot of PvPers felt about the game and the state of Cyrodiil. I mean, I dipped out of Cyrodiil a long time ago because of performance. That was, I couldn't handle the lag. I just couldn't do it. I wasn't having fun in Cyrodiil. I just don't understand how people, especially during prime time in Cyrodiil, even play or even enjoy themselves. And I can understand certainly the feeling that PvPers are being ignored, especially when Cyrodiil is not working properly. I mean, this is just a small sample of what I get sent almost like every week or every day, even. Like these things, like certain skills or certain like this mechanic appeared before the boss actually did the mechanic. On Assembly General, the stomp actually knocks you back like 2 seconds after the stomp. There's a lot of these things going on between the game servers and the client. And again, this is a small sample, and then someone sent over or added me with this video. They can't dragon leap on the battlements of the inner keep, and there's more. There's just more. You guys can even look this up in a lot of discords or even YouTube of these bugs happening. Like it's just I don't know. It's not very good. So again, performance wise, I would definitely give Harrowstorm a very low rating. Content and gameplay wise, the fact that they didn't change up too much is great, and I think they should just they should just stop. No more changes, no more gameplay balance is fine, but no more adding beyond the advertised vampire lord thing coming in Greymore and stuff like that. I don't know, I just feel stop shaking up the game at this point. Just focus on completely, just 99% focus on performance improvements, because everyone's just getting frustrated. It's not fun for anyone, and I doubt it's fun for the devs either. They're human as well, and I understand that there's I don't know what their working environment is or their schedule. I'm sure they're all busy and also stressed out by the whole coronavirus thing. But I don't know. I don't mean for this video to be a rant, but this is just my honest take on Harrowstorm DLC. So if someone had to ask me, should I come back to this game? My honest answer right now would be, yeah, but if you're expecting to PvP in Cyrodiil, probably, and enjoy it, probably not. If you're expecting to raid, I probably would not either, because there's a lot of frustrations and there's a lot of things not working as they should, and this affects not just endgame raiders like me or other people. It also affects progression groups trying to learn, but everything's busted. You can barely teach people because weird funky stuff is going on. So I really do hope the performance patch unfolds. I actually do hope that the game gets better, but otherwise it wasn't a very good patch. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about the Harrowstorm DLC patch, because I'm curious what you guys think about the patch. I'm sure some of your thinking will align with mine, some of it may not, but I'm always curious to see what other people think about the patch. And for Greymore, I hope, I don't know if it's naive of me at this point or straight up delusion. I hope these things we've been witnessing in terms of issues, gameplay wise and server wise, don't pop up. But I think unfortunately they probably will, and hopefully I will see a day where it doesn't do this anymore. But yeah, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Please do stay safe with this whole pandemic going on, and I'll see you guys on the stream or in the next video. Thanks.